Hi, my name is Olivia Grimsley, and this is my evaluation on the explanation assignment. I want to start with a quote by Herbert Spencer, and that is, "The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action." I think that's a great quote to start on my presentation. It's great to educate people, but it's taking action towards the disease that is what's going to make a difference. I'm going to evaluate my explanation project and grade myself based on the rubric provided on D2L. I want to first start with my feelings before, during, and after the presentation. Before, I definitely had a lot of nerves. I was nervous to present, even though I was just presenting to my family. During, I thought that it was going really smooth. Once I started talking, I'm so passionate about this topic. I eat, sleep, and breathe horses. So once I was into it, I felt so intrigued that I thought it was going very smoothly. And after, I felt that it went very well. After the presentation was done, I ended up talking to my family again, and they were all very passionate about it as well, and thought that it was a great information, and let them know like how we can all start making an effort towards this. Next, I want to reflect on one strength and one thing I need to improve. My one strength, again, I think, was that I was so passionate about it, that it was a very powerful speech. And I think that one thing that I added was when I talked about the Montana Department of Livestock. That is something I could give this presentation in South Dakota, Montana, Tennessee, and I could add that small part of whatever state's livestock, and that would really add a lot of depth in putting it very personal and a lot of, in saying how those specific people could change there and take action in their own area. One weakness I thought was how I verbally said my sources. I was saying them after, and I should have been saying them before. So that is one thing that I would want to improve. Also, an important part in evaluating is setting goals for yourself, and one goal that I plan on setting for my next project would be giving myself more time to practice. I gave myself 2 times the day before, and I could have used 3 or 4 times. I think it just helps add the powerful to your speech. I could have worked on tone. I could have worked on more fine-tuned things if I would have been able to practice a little more. And last, I want to go over the rubric. Starting with the intro, I gave myself 3 to 4 points. I asked the audience a question. I got the audience intrigued in what I was saying. I did not go have a very good preview or restate my thesis or relate it back to my thesis. The body, I averaged like 8 to 9. My strategies were clear, but they weren't necessarily highlighted. So that is why I gave myself deduction on points there. My sources and oral citation of them, I gave myself an 8. They were credible, but they were, again, not worded right. And my presentation aid, I gave myself a 10. It really showed and added in depth the severity of this disease, and I thought that that was a really good picture with a chart just for the visual aid of people to see. My conclusion, I also gave myself an average. I did not restate my thesis, but I had a memorable closing, and I had a clear completion of like the end of my presentation. And my delivery, I gave myself 7 points. I ended up putting my Zoom call on my coffee table, so I was looking down at them, but trying to look at my camera, and they should have been at eye level, and I think I would have looked down less overall, just not having them like in the downward view of my eyes. That is the end of my evaluation. I hope everyone with horses has a chance to be educated on EHV. I plan to take action and to continue to give this speech. And now after this evaluation, I have things that I'm going to work on for when I give this speech in the future. That is the end of my evaluation of my explanation.